All right, everybody, we're going live. We decided to go a little early, just like it's literally just it's the ADHD hour. What the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna say about
We were just talking about balding. I told you my hairline's running away from me right now. Mm-hmm. It's just completely. It's afraid of my face. It's like I can get away.
Shit, just shave it.
And you know what's fucked up is like my nose hair is actually at an all-time high. Like I got to trim that shit like twice a week.
Yeah, I got the little fucking buzz thing.
Yeah, do you got the nose hair trimmer, Matt?
I don't have that problem. I'm just surprising because I'm Italian. Like I figured that we would kind of have to have that, but
how old are you though?
I guess not yet.
How old are you, Matt?
31.
Oh shit! Wait.
No. 31. I didn't have nose hair either. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Enjoy the fucking bald nose.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just wish the rest of my hair on my head would fall out. I just wish I didn't have shaved anymore. Like. First of all, it's like gray and almost like it literally makes me look like Father Time when it's like it's a little shaggy. But if it just would fall out, I would love to not have to shave it anymore. That might my beard grows in like barbed wire. Like,
yeah, your beard looks great. Matt has a great
I would say I'm just glad that I could grow a full beard. I mean, I won the genetic lottery with that one.
I just shaved this kind of guy. Mine's a little fuck your calves. Mine's a little fucking spotty, man. My brother, when he lost his hair in his 20s, fully natty, so you can't blame the steroids. I'm the steroid using brother. And so this guy, like, he was trying, like, for fucking 2 years to, like, fucking comb forward. And, like, it was so fucking bad. And finally, I had an intervention. I literally sat him down, and I'm like, bro, you look fucking terrible. Just shave it. He goes, well, my wife likes it. I'm like, that's because she knows that other women are laughing at you and you can't cheat on her if your hair looks like that. No one's gonna sleep with you. He goes,
or she's just trying to be nice to you, like because like.
I'm like, dude, you got to shit. But he actually did. He's been sporting the crew cut for a while. He does the half around, so it looks like you can see the outline of his balding, but he's not completely bald.
Yeah,
I'm down with that. Looks clean.
I just embraced it, man. Like I had to.
I mean, it
works for me. So
it does. I don't know how to. I mean, I shaved my head for most of my life. Like when I played football, I hated having hair under the helmet. And in my 30s, I shaved it for most because I get off of flights, and if I didn't I go on red eyes because I go on all these business trips. Have a meeting in the morning. Back when I used to give a fuck about meetings, and I used to come out, and my hair would be like on one side that I slept on, and then over here it's like fucking Krusty the Clown. So I'm like, dude, I got to shave it. So I just did a one around, and I do that every week. It was liberating, but my wife likes my hair, so I'm like, fuck, I got to give her at least that.
My wife loves bald. She likes bald, and she doesn't like facial hair. So I had a goatee. I had a goatee when I met her, and like not met her, but like on our first date. And I had known her and been like wildly in love with her for like years. So, but on our first date, she was like, "How long?" Because I had a goatee for like 15 fucking years, right? And she was like, "How long have you had that?" I was like, "A long goddamn time." And she was like, "I really don't date guys with facial hair," and I shaved that shit the next day. And anybody in the comments wants to say I'm pussy whipped. We've known each other almost fucking 20 fucking years now. I love this woman. We literally built businesses so we could spend every minute of every fucking day together. So fuck off. You can call me pussy whipped all you want.
Hey, Matt, what would happen if Alan said he did that on male Twitter? Male Twitter is the funniest thing because you got a bunch of guys who don't get pussy telling people how to get pussy and making money on it. It's fucking amazing. And then you see like these pictures of these guys.
Where is this? I need to go here.
Oh, you got to go to
Red Pill Twitter.
Go to anti-circumcision Twitter too. It's a riot. Anti-circumcision Twitter came at me really hard for a circumcision joke. No pun intended. They were throwing foreskin at me. It was crazy. Jeez. No, but they're like really anti. Like if you're circumcised, you're the devil. Like they really like foreskin in that group.
That's
what the hell.
Yeah, but male Twitter is something we need to explore as a team, and we need to infiltrate because it's literally like these fucking puny guys who talk about fucking just mistreating women. I'm like, that's not alpha. That's just being a dick.
Man, let me tell you something. I would whoop somebody's ass if they fucking talk snide to my mama, including my dad. And you know who told me to do that? My dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only one who could talk shit about my wife is me.
It's Red Pill Twitter. Red Pill Twitter, the ones that
yes.
And I guess I kind of I guess maybe before my Twitter days I was more into the red pill, but I went through like a few relationships or at least flings where I tried some of the stuff that they talked about, and I just realized like this is stupid. It doesn't work. Like this is total manipulation, and I don't want to do that. That's not alpha. Manipulation is not alpha.
No.
And they talk about all this alpha crap in the whole red pill manosphere, and which I'm super surprised it's still around. But a lot of people have kind of evolved out of that.
Yeah. I think being alpha is certain weird things like taking care of your kid, and being I don't know, going down on your wife. I think that's pretty alpha. I mean,
liking it. Like,
I absolutely. I think. See, the thing is, like eating. I'm sorry if I'm saying this ADHD, but like, for me, oral sex is like a challenge. It's like for me, it's like it's like getting a new PR on a squat. For me, it's like, all right, like I'm gonna try out this shit. I actually searched the internet for because you're with someone for fucking 20 plus years, man. Like you've done every move. So if you find a new move,
dude. See, this is another thing since him and I went like a year without talking. Yeah. Dude, I'm sponsored by Adam and Eve. No shit. #fitness. You can get like 50% off. Yes, I'm freaking serious. Dude, I'm telling you right now.
I don't know about any of that stuff yet.
Look up.
Hadn't been that long for me yet.
Look up door swing. Change your fucking life.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
Check that one out.
Yeah, because it hooks right up to the door. Look at it. You'll like it.
I had no idea.
It's my sponsor. Yeah, it's one of my sponsors.
I didn't know. Yeah, I've gone there before.
I turned down all sorts of sponsors. I took them. I was like, fuck yes.
That sounds like a great sponsor to have.
Are you going to send me shit? They said yes. I said, fuck yeah.
That is awesome. Like that is, and I'll be real. Like a lot of times when you're like your kids, if you have kids in the house, like you don't have time for all that. Like you gotta, so I can't wait for the day when we can actually sit down and break out some shit, some extracurricular toys. That'd be fun, but right now it's just like we're going straight up like powerlifting where you have no equipment. We're going raw,
just going.
I want to bring fitness back into it. That is a fantastic sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How do they sponsor? So is it a commission thing, or they send you a gift card for like gifts?
No, well, they'll send me any product I ask for. They send like it's like the same thing like a sponsorship for a video and everything like that. So I normally make some, like around Valentine's Day or holidays and shit like that. I'll make videos for them.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, but it goes into health too. People should have a lot. Like I actually have shirts also that say "fucking is the best cardio." Like I've shirts printed that say that too because it is. Like what the fuck, man? Like if people like spend more time having sex and fucking like spending time talking to their fucking spouses or significant other or whatever they have, I don't give a fuck. Even if it's multiple fucking people, I don't give a fuck. But if they spend more time doing that and fucking actually having relationships with people in a fucking face-to-face environment, we wouldn't be in nearly the fucking trouble we're in.
You know what I get? The question I answer at least once a year is the no-fap people, the people who believe that not masturbating will make you make more gains, and I'm like, well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're busting it.
And who cares?
Who would? I would rather I started lifting for two reasons: to play football and to get pussy. The latter was more important to me. Why would I forsake that to make how much gains? And anyway, all the good bodybuilders I've known are complete sex freaks. Like I'm not going to name names, but they're all completely just not in the least bit. They're promiscuous as fuck. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, like if the best bodybuilders in the world, well, they're on steroids. I'm like, I've seen a lot of natural guys get a lot of tail too, man. Like you don't think those little fuck boys from Gymshark are getting a whole bunch of tail?
Yeah.
Especially a lot of them aren't very discriminate about shit either. You know what I mean? Like, but it's also, I just don't show me the data that makes it so I'm going to fucking gain. Like, here's the thing. Most of these fucks need to understand that you're not going to push yourself that far past your natural potential anyway. So not banging your girlfriend or wife for a month so you can make some extra gains. You're just going to get to your natural potential faster. That's it. Bang your wife, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Is the dude benching next to you so important to impress that fucking you're not going to bang your fucking wife?
Well, there's weird stuff about games bring out the weirdest things in people. Like I remember remember the Louis Marco days? Back when it was Louis Marco. There was a guy who
he still has to be blocked.
Louis Marco's a unique guy. He was the first Natty or Not. He was the first Natty or Not guy. So he started that bullshit.
Oh,
and
God.
I actually like Louis. But here's the thing. There were guys back in, I think it was like 2012, who were literally, there was a big thing where people were drinking their own semen for gains.
No, what's his name is doing that right now?
Connor Murphy.
I was like, is this dude is nuts? Like, because I remember watching some of his YouTube stuff like years ago. Man, he has gone off the deep end.
Yeah, he found a crazy. See,
I don't know if it's a fucking. I don't know.
Kenny said it's not. Kenny said he was like that in fucking person.
So, I mean, like these people are fucking. You've met all of these people, Mark.
You're right. They're all nuts.
Like Matt, you haven't met most of these folks. You've met all these people. They're all loon bags. Like, no offense to most of you guys that are friends. I'm friends with, but we are all fucking crazy.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Not drinking our own semen, crazy.
No, and if we are all crazy, and we're saying that that's crazy, that's really fucking crazy.
I think in his post, he was drinking another man's semen.
He was
not his own.
But I think he drank his own too.
Because that would be like conceited, I guess. I don't know. Like,
I hate the internet.
It's so, but that's I also think that's a huge problem with the fitness shit. Like I really do. Like people get so like, if you do this little thing, it can help your gains. Like, God, what the fuck, just lift.
He's also like just trying to stay relevant. People will go to like just the lowest levels just to try to get more attention. I mean, I really think that's what he's doing. Is he's ran out of ideas.
I mean, the media does it too. Like obviously CNN with their, fucking Orange Man Bad, which obviously isn't a long-term thing. But good, you know what? From a business standpoint, how fucking brilliant. They were about to literally go out of business. I'm not even mad. That's a good. The CEO made the right move. Now they need a new CEO to help correct the ship. Now that there's no more Orange Man, and after about a year when he's gone. But you know who did it in our industry? Generation Iron. I used to do stuff with Generation Iron. They were awesome. I went to their studio. I filmed some really good content, really educational pieces. And now they're literally TMZ. And they're just clickbait garbage, just absolute trash. But they started out really great. But to get those clicks, because remember, when you're doing Google ads and all that shit, they don't give a fuck about your quality. They care about, did someone click? Do you have traffic? What are your demos? Yeah. And that's what they're doing. That's why people are looking at these fucking things like CNN. CNN's liberal. Well, they probably are. But honestly, if there was money in targeting conservatives, do you really think Rupert Murdoch gives a fuck about conservatives? No, Fox News does conservative shit because they're the opposition, so they get money from the fucking right. Nobody gives a fuck. There's all capitalism at play.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Like the thing is, people are going to take advantage no matter what. And I don't believe it for a second that like people didn't look at the most advantageous way for them, like at all.
Another thing is that, I think well-regulated capitalism is, of course, the best system.
Mm-hmm.
I think kind of what we have right now is it's regulated with a mix of crony capitalism, of course. But the thing is, it's hard to regulate, honesty. Like when most people are trying to be honest, because that's free speech. Yeah. And so when they're making up these lies or pushing these false narratives, whatever they're doing, how do you stop that? Like, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Without stepping on the First Amendment.
Yeah, you have to kind of let it play out and let there be opposing speech. Mm-hmm. I think that's the key. I think once you start censoring anything like hate speech, I hate hate speech. I don't like it. I don't like the N word. I don't like the K word. I don't like any of the S word, any of those words. I don't like them. But once you start calling things hate speech, then you get a really blurred definition of what equals hate speech. And so that's where you have to, the First Amendment is not based on people's feelings. It's based on the fact that, hey, you can say what the fuck you want to say as long as you don't incite a riot, and that's pretty much the First Amendment. So, and there is a risk. Yeah. Okay. It's illegal to punch somebody in the face, but look, if you call somebody, let's say you come on Saturday and there's a lot of really big fighters there to rumble in the borough, and you call somebody the N-word, you're probably going to get your ass kicked by a big group of people.
Yes.
So the First Amendment can kind of sort itself out because, I mean, there's certain things you won't say because of fear of human reaction. So I don't think we should have hate speech is a dumb fucking thing in my opinion. It's coming from a guy who Alan knows YouTube and the internet.
Yeah.
Dude, I get called more racial anti-Jew shit than anybody. I don't give a fuck if they think Jews own Hollywood. We probably fucking do. If they think I'm a kike or they want to talk about my grandfather being in Auschwitz and they don't like me because of that, that's their problem, not mine. You know, you know, you just got to learn that, you know, with freedom comes discomfort.
Well, I mean, my thing is this: I'd rather know what the person's thinking, like what's actually on their mind, have them feel very comfortable saying whatever they feel like, so that way I know what they actually fucking think. The problem with political correctness is that it's like institutionalized lying to each other.
Yeah,
people don't actually say what they actually feel or think. They say what they feel they're supposed to say. And then the issue is that if they do have opposing views internally, those would fester and possibly, I mean, become even more negative because they feel like that they can't say what they want to say, and therefore, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like this thing. You don't change people's thought, mind, and like actual like heart, basically, without like by silencing them. Like, we are not going to politically correct our way out of our differences in society. It's just not. It's not even really possible. We're not that type of species. We can't just ignore each other's differences and plights. You know, it's ridiculous to think so. It's like something we created in 2020. You know what I mean? Because I thought shit was on the track to get a lot fucking better. You know what I mean? Like, people were having real conversations about race, about equality, about all sorts of things. And then now the problem is if it's shoved down people's face so much, like the transgender topic, when that gets to the point where like now you're almost erasing women, where you're taking scholarships away from women and stuff like that. Now we're not having conversation. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that actual women were not consulted about that. You know, and when I say actual women, I mean biologically born women. You know? No. So that's when, like, if we stop having discussions, this is where, like, what for you as the parent of a teenage athlete who is now competing with could be, depending on the state she would go to, because a lot of states are taking a stand, could be competing with biologically born males for scholarships. Like, it's like erases how many, like, if this was just done, how many women's scholarships would end up for men? Because here's the thing, maybe most of you motherfuckers don't understand. Men will cheat. like men will fucking cheat to fucking win at sports. They don't give a fuck.
Look at natural bodybuilding.
They'll cheat at anything.
Natural bodybuilding.
Natural
bodybuilding is the fucking perfect example. You got motherfuckers coming in, juiced to the gills, passing their fucking lie detector, and beating the shit out of guys who aren't on drugs. And if they're willing to go up and for a fucking trophy that costs them money, they're not making money. If you actually have something tangible for money, look at the Olympics. Everybody's doping, but they get away with it. Now, they're not supposed to dope. People will do whatever it takes to get that fucking trophy. Imagine if that trophy was a 4-year fucking education. I'll fucking put a wig on and put some eyelashes on and fucking shake my ass. I don't give a fuck. Like those motherfuckers, those track athletes in Connecticut, they were fucking more swole than fucking Matt over here, fucking coming out with mustaches and shit and fucking wigs running the fucking 40-yard dash in 2.8. And we're sitting here like, oh, well, they're females. I'm like, if that's a fucking female, I'm a fucking donkey. Like,
well, here's my thing, because I personally don't care if you inform me what you want to be called.
I'm done. That's cool with me. I love it.
I'm straight. If you make me guess, it's not obvious. Don't hold me accountable. I clearly have ADHD, and I don't think that much ahead. Like, I'm not gonna, like, all of a sudden, like, unless I'm trying to observe super fucking close, I'm oftentimes in my own little fucking world. So I have no problem with it, but I have no problem with somebody else doesn't want to either. See, that's what's called, like, understanding and freedom. You know, like if I have friends that are just like, nah, that was born. You're born a guy, you're a guy. Period. You know. Okay. Like I don't necessarily. I don't agree that to the point where I need to, like, not honor this person's wishes necessarily, but if that's what this person, he or she perfectly has a right to think that way. That's actual freedom, you know?
I completely don't care what people like. If you want to, I'll call you ma'am, I'll call you sir, I'll call you whatever the fuck you want to be called. But in sports, there's certain things. Like, for example,
Exactly.
before the fights on Saturday, we have people weighing in. Weight is a tangible thing. You're either 120 to 125 or you're fucking not. You came in too big. Gender
I
is the same
identify
thing.
as 300 pounds.
But think about it though. Like, gender is completely something it's fucking there, and it causes differences, like the Q angle in the hips, like fucking bone density. Like,
you know, that was those two things. The you pointed out. I had never thought about it before.
Q angle is the biggest fucking reason.
Yeah. I mean, I had never ever thought about it before. Do you want to explain that to people, Mark? Real like break it down.
I was really excited because my favorite podcaster, Tim Cast, who has no idea who I am, but I listen. He's all I listen to. I fucking love the guy. I have a fucking man crush on him. And this motherfucker goes in and he's discussing. He brings up the Q angle. I'm like, he's the first one I've heard actively bring it up. So men's hips, think about it like this: they're straight up and straight down.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at your knee. When it's straight up, straight down, it's stable. A woman's hips has a 17-degree difference than males on average, which means that a woman's legs are going to port out. So think of it as a V shape versus two straight lines.
Is this also the reason why most women seem to be better at sumo squat?
It could be, and also the main reason it's there is because they pass babies through their birth canal. They give birth. So it's a natural design by God or evolution or whatever your belief system is, for women to be able to pass babies. Unfortunately, it's also the reason that women soccer players have the highest occurrences of ACL injuries because of the extreme valgus. Valgus is the inward force of the knee. It's when your knees cave in, basically. And so what happens is, because that extreme valgus, it puts more pressure on the anterior cruciate ligament, which causes more ACL tears. If you have a male on the field who's running faster, is stronger, has better reaction time, and they're going up against a female who has a 17-degree Q angle difference, you're going to have a huge occurrence. Women are going to be falling down, and you're going to have such a high uptick in ACL injuries, which, by the way, are a lot of the time career ending.
Career ending, yeah.
Meaning not career ending at that moment. They will come back. But when you're dealing with elite athletes, every step matters. LaDainian Tomlinson was the most dominant running back in the NFL, San Diego Chargers. Okay, he got turf toe and never came back from fucking turf toe, because the difference in elite athletes is literally one step. If that girl goes down with an ACL, she's not going to come back as good. She's going to lose her edge. She's going to lose her chance of going pro. You got to look beyond the fucking feelings, okay? You got to look at what about females? Like, how many years they fight for these Title IX and all these rights. And I'm sitting here with a daughter who's fucking going. She's at wrestling now. It's 3 o'clock. She has wrestling training. And then at 6 o'clock, she has full-on soccer practice. She has 2 games this weekend. On Monday, she starts all over again. 2 practices a day, weight trains. And she's busting her ass to get that fucking opportunity to go pro, to go D1. And guess what? I don't want some fucking person with a dick who identifies as a female taking her spot. I don't care if people hate me for it. You can cancel me all you want. People need to fucking speak up. Dads need to fucking speak up, but they're such pussies afraid of, look, I'm not afraid of losing my job because I'd have to fire myself. I'm not cancelable. I can't be fucking canceled. I'm going to speak up against people taking away the fucking rights of women that they've worked so hard they couldn't fucking vote back. This is the equivalent of taking away their opportunity to vote.
Yeah, and people that are in your position, you know, that really don't have anybody to, I guess, answer to, you know, because like if you work for a big corporation and then you go online spouting off whatever, even if it's not, you know, even that bad, it's still up to the corporation if they see that, you know, they don't agree with it or they don't want to, you know, be tied to that for any reason, you know, let you go. And if people are afraid of that, understandably. And so I think that's also kind of, you know, when we locked down, the biggest thing that hurt us was small businesses getting closed down. They had to close their doors, and a lot of people lost their businesses. And where did it go? It went to the corporations. And so these corporations are getting massive, and they're employing even more and more people. And so when you get to a point where, like, and this is kind of what my, I guess, guess or theory was, you know, about with the vaccines is when you work for a big corporation and they require that, oh, you have to be vaccinated to work here. Well, if there's nowhere else for you to go, you know, how are you going to make a living? How are you going to, you know, feed your family, you know? And you know, I think eventually it's very possible that we get to the point where, you know, that happens. And so
we're there.
We're there already. Yeah. I mean, like me and Mark see it all the fucking time, dude. We see people we see people that are just trying to be good to other people get totally fucking canceled and shit like that. I mean,
it's horrible.
It's there. Yeah.
It's
It
horrible.
almost happened to me. When I was working at Honda, I tweeted something that, pissed off a bunch of feminists. And they were stalking my LinkedIn profile.
Oh yeah, I think it's crazy.
And all that. I was watching the national championship game that year, and at first I was like, oh, this is not a big deal. I was having fun with it and messing with them and doubling down like you want to do.
Yeah.
And then finally, halfway through the national championship game, Alabama and Clemson, I looked at my phone and looked at my LinkedIn profile and realized that people were looking at it. I had a ton of views. I got a notification and I was like, oh, damn.
Oh, no.
What if I lose my job over this? And I had to delete the tweet. And, I didn't apologize or anything, but it was just like, damn. But it is scary. Like, thankfully, I have something to fall back on, but not everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody's a knowledgeable fucking fitness trainer who knows what they're doing and can pick up and start their own business. Some people are specialized and some people are corporate people. Like some people are great managers of companies and they're not entrepreneurs. Like not everybody's an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is stupid. It takes an idiot to go out and start a company, because your success rate is very low. And some people do really well. Like my brother's very successful and he's worked his way up, ownership and everything, but like he works for someone else and he does better than 99% of the entrepreneurs I know. So some people are just really good at management and working that corporate game. Yeah. And I'm not. Well, I am, but I don't like it. I like just being able to come on here and, as a 40-year-old man, a fucking do-rag and just say, look, dude, it's like, here's my opinion. But the thing is, I don't think my opinions are that far out there. I think I'm the biggest feminist you'll ever see. I'm also not a Republican. I believe in national health care. Like, there's a lot of things about me that are not fucking conservative. Yet,
what do you think national health care should be? Like, what do you think we should do for national health care? Because I agree to a certain degree.
So here's my caveat on health care. I think we shouldn't have health care. Here's why we should have health care. Let me restate that. Is because we give foreign aid to other countries.
Absolutely.
If we can afford $25 million to Pakistan for gender studies, we can afford to give everybody basic health care. Now, a basic health care is basically, we almost fucking have it if you go to the emergency room, like you're good, but you get certain allotments, right? Like I think it would behoove all of us to get a physical with some nutrition counseling every year. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Happen. I don't think anybody would disagree that would help society if we had people. And I think we need to also spend money on currently, like if you're a trainer like Matt and myself, and let's say you're Exos or you're even ACE or NAFA, whatever they are, I forgot it, AFA and fucking NASM. So you have to do CECs, continuing education courses. So you start requiring doctors to do, let's say, 5 hours a year of nutrition training, and you start teaching them how to actually work with clients on, instead of getting on, let's say, a glucophage or some kind of a mediation supplement or statins. First thing you do is you try to modify their life. So you give them a little bit of psychological and nutritional training. And I also believe that, catastrophic healthcare should be there. If my heart explodes, I believe that, hey, maybe the government should kind of help me not get a $300,000 hospital bill because my heart exploded, because we're paying a ton of taxes. And you might say that's too much money. The government just printed $2 trillion on multiple occasions.
Yeah, I don't hear shit.
And none of it was used for what it was intended. $1,600 checks at the peak. That's ridiculous, considering that we basically paid $5,200 to get $1,200 back. It was a ridiculous ratio. Yeah. All the money went to pork barrel spending. It went to bullshit fucking items for both parties, mostly
Pakistan.
Democrats. Yeah, why are we giving money to these other? Why is Israel getting money? Why the fuck?
Why is anybody getting money but people? Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't even believe. Like, I'm a big believer that until we can not borrow money, we need to pull all of our troops from everywhere around the world, bring them back home. I tell you what, we can line our borders with them just like every other fucking country does. I'm not talking isolationism, but it's a different world.
A lot of people, like one of the arguments for that is, some people are saying that, like, other countries like Russia and China are investing in these other countries and everything. And if we don't, they're going to take over whatever the global market or whatever it is. But then again, I think we put too much focus on that. We need to put more focus, of course, on our home.
Yeah. Don't you dare say America first. You'll get us all canceled.
Yeah. They'll just cut the fucking stream.
That brings me back to the whole capitalism thing. Capitalism in theory is great. The problem is that we're humans, and in theory, if we all do the right thing, then it'd be a perfect system. But we don't. We make stupid decisions, and we have people that try to cheat the system and things like you were talking about earlier. And so the whole regulation thing, that's where it comes into. But we're actually a corporatocracy. And so the reason why we'll never have this universal health care, or unless they manipulate the system for whatever reason, big pharma is powerful. And they lobby the hell. They lobby the hell out of Congress.
They're evil.
Why do you think not one politician has said anything about vitamin D, obesity, zinc, anything like that? Why do you think that hydroxychloroquine was quelched?
And
has Rand Paul not said anything about it?
Rand Paul's the guy.
Yeah.
Other than him, dude, hydroxychloroquine. Let's go vitamin D. Like vitamin D was, and it could have, staved off so much death, so much injury. And I'm going to say, I'm not making a claim that it's better. I don't want to make the claim. I'm not claiming that's better than anything. I'm saying that 85% of hospitalizations were vitamin D deficient. You can draw your own conclusions. I won't make any claims on that. Draw your own conclusion. We could have literally just been like, hey guys, it's like 3 cents a dose. Go to Target, Walmart, go support the big stores, or you can support Mark Lobliner if you want, but you don't have to. Let's just not die, okay? Because nobody's good to anybody if you're dead, right? So just, hey, you know what? All they had to do is say, hey, everybody, just in case we see a lot of people with vitamin D deficiencies, can you guys just go get vitamin D from your local retailer? It's only like $10 for a month's supply. Can you do that? Okay, cool. And we would have saved so many lives with just one announcement from Dr. Fauci, from Donald Trump, from any of those guys. Trump didn't say anything. Fauci didn't say anything. CDC didn't say anything. The CDC did not make the vitamin D recommendation. That's when I know. And yet they're talking about remdesivir, which has been shown to do absolutely nothing, at $1,000 a dose, be talked about like it's the fucking miracle cure.
It just goes to show how corrupt everything is. I mean,
well, if you think about what we did, dude, we'll go around the table and list off the things we did to actually make people less healthy or spread the virus more. I'll start. We sent hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of college kids on airplanes home after they've been crawling all over each other at spring break to then stay with their parents and grandparents. Think about that. What else could we have done? Obesity.
Nursing homes.
Nursing homes.
I mean, there's closing gyms. Telling people to stay inside. Avoiding vitamin D.
Yeah, telling people to stay inside. We increased the amount of suicides. Making kids wear masks.
My kids don't wear masks anymore. We got a health exemption, but masks on everything. Yet somehow
keeping kids away from their schools and away from their friends.
Social distancing is a horrible idea. I mean, we've taken away personality. We've taken away emotion.
Meanwhile, we knew then and we know now. The data's out now, but we knew back then that 6 feet is just literally a fucking number grabbed from the goddamn sky.
They don't have any data to back it up. So
they didn't then, they don't now. That's when I said that, like, hey, ex-healthcare professional here. That's stupid.
Did y'all see the Agenda 21 thing?
I've heard about it. I never saw it.
I haven't seen all of it.
It's so strange how they had I think it was a conference, and they went over certain scenarios, and a lot of the what they went over is exactly what we experienced.
Yeah,
it's really strange that it happened. I don't know if it happened I think it happened in 2019, and so it was like right before it happened.
I'm not doubting for 1 second that there's a lot of possibilities for what happened. I'm not going to be the guy who says that Bill Gates is, taking over the world. I just hate the fact that people listen to him. Like they say, "What are you? So you're not a doctor?" I'm literally a health professional. Like I literally do health for a living. And this guy is a computer guy.
Yep.
Yet he's rich. I mean,
well, his dad was a very high up executive in Planned Parenthood, and his mom was a high executive in the banking industry. And so there's a lot of stuff about him. There's a lot of stuff about him that's super sketchy. and the speeches that he's given, and also buying all this farmland. I don't know what he's up
the
to.
largest farm owner in America.
Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all.
No, it's not pretty at all. I don't want to be like, a lot of times you have these conspiracies. There's really valid explanations. I just want to hear the explanations for this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to, because there's been a lot of things I'm like, yeah, that might be it. And then you have someone smarter explain it to you. Like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have thought that.
Well, it goes back to not everything is a conspiracy.
No.
But not everything is like, just not a conspiracy either. There's a mix.
Well, I got called a conspiracy theorist all year for shit that is literally fact right now. Like shit that they've admitted. Like I have videos from last year, like even before, like over a year ago, where I list off obesity is the number one predicator, second in line with morbid obesity, besides age. We have to start looking at this. I have videos telling people, like the 6 feet thing. I was like, we are watching elderly people, obese people, and high risk people just die because they somehow think that they're at the same risk that I am. You know what I mean? Like, and they're standing 6 feet away from me as if that's going to do any fucking thing. It's so goddamn stupid. And I literally was saying, we are not even helping these people. We are just watching them die slower. That's all we're doing.
But
that's all it was even meant to do.
You know what's also strange is this whole censorship thing. There was a group on Facebook of people sharing the side effects that they have from the vaccinations, and they deleted it.
What's why are they censoring? Why are they censoring things? That's weird too.
Yeah.
Why are you censoring for sharing an experience?
You combat lies with the truth. So why aren't you just sharing the truth? They just want us to take their word for it.
If I say anything about anything, there's a fact check on there, and the fact check is usually not even associated with what I'm saying, or it's wrong. I mean,
that's happened to me also too.
I mean, it's not even the correct information. I'm like, the data's there. Like, I am very data driven. Yeah. My life is data. I have a study on my hard drive of everything you want to know about any stupid subject. And these guys are like, I even pulled one up the other day. I posted about of HCG increasing size of people with micro penis. I have those studies. For some reason, I have them. Not that I have
how many of them are related to penis?
Well, I mean, I do test boosters, man. I have to look at penis stuff. Well, I don't look at penises.
Whatever you need to tell yourself, man.
Penis stuff.
We're still
penis stuff. Mainly what I like to look at is immunity. And that's when Al and I always joke around, like nobody took COVID more seriously than we did. We both downsized. We both I stepped up my vitamin game was on point. I fucking stepped it up. I spent weeks researching viral replication, and I shared as much info as possible before I got obviously shadow banned. But I was out
telling people to take vitamin D.
That was the video.
I get why they shadow banned me. They hate me.
I went off, but I didn't even say COVID. I went off of flu data. The flu data on vitamin D is concrete. It's as good as it comes. So
your analytics are so crazy. Like your analytics take a dive the day after that video. It
was crazy. But the video was basically, I remember because we were living in the apartment. I was standing in front of the little waterfall by our house, and I was like by our apartment, and I'm like, guys, just vitamin D has been shown to help, prevent bad stuff. You'll still get the virus, but it'll make it where it's not as bad or whatever I said. And I had data. I actually took a study with me. I printed it out and I read it, and there I am. And now my YouTube channel gets like 10 views. So it is, I mean, but it was worth it. It was worth it because people message me and they're like, hey, you helped me a lot. And that's really all you can do. If, they say just one life, and I actually mean it. Like, okay, I don't get as many views now, but I'm good.
Man, I've had so many people message me like, hey, I've lost 40 pounds for this. And then I got COVID. I probably would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for losing the weight. Like, that's the thing. You got to, if we actually gave a fuck about people, we would actually warn them about this shit. Like we would not accept this ridiculous shit. Like you can be huge and healthy and shit like that. We can't. Somebody asked a question I thought we should get to. They actually say, are there exceptions for the rule of obese and unhealthy? For example, would NFL linemen be considered healthy?
No.
I would say not a fucking chance.
No. By the way, guys, I have a hard stop right now. I got to go take my kids to boxing. You guys can stay on. Let's do this again.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I actually need to go take care of some stuff. We'll finish this question on me and you after Mark gets off, and then we'll go.
All right, hey,
Okay.
see you
All right,
guys
Mark.
next
Good to see you,
weekend.
man.
Rumble
see
in
you,
the
Mark.
Borough. See you guys there.
See you there.
Take
I'll
care,
message
guys.
you later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but what were you saying?
No, you were asking that question.
Oh, somebody asked a question. Here it is. I'll actually pull it up. Are there exceptions to the obese and an unhealthy rule? For an example, an NFL lineman be considered healthy? Any type of extreme training is not healthy, people. Like,
I mean, the thing about NFL linemen is, for as big as they are, they're athletic. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of them are a little bit heavier. Like I have a good friend of mine who I work out with who used to play in the NFL as a lineman, and he lost a bunch of weight after he stopped because you don't feel right at that, being that heavy.
Right.
And so I don't think that it'll take anything away from them, like long term, as long as they lose that excess weight. But as active as they are in the NFL, I don't think it's going to affect them too terribly much.
It's the wear and tear in their joints. They almost all get some sort of concussion syndrome too. Like, it's just like my thing about extreme training, because I was much bigger than this too. I was the heavyweight lifting dude in the gym. I weighed like almost 90 pounds more than this now at this stage.
Wow.
But it's just like when you work out that, like when the idea is you have to think about how much insurance you have when you like step underneath the squat rack. Like you're obviously not like healthy. You're shooting for athleticism. You know what I mean? And I just think that I'm perfect. Like, I still don't even consider myself like healthy because I still like have like some unhealthy habits that I still do, right? But I'm as healthy as I'm probably going to get and be happy with it. Like, there's a trade-off. Like, I love training athletically. I don't think I can give it up just yet, even though I'm almost 50. You know what I mean? So I still do a lot of like high impact shit. That's probably not the best idea for me, but will keep me healthier than if I just like am bored as fuck with my training type of stuff. So there's like risk reward. And I don't regret like lifting heavy weight when I was younger. I regret maybe some of the fucking stupid ass training and eating I did, but I don't necessarily regret trying to lift heavy because it's part of who I am. I just think like when people trade off, like the average person is not me and you. I always say that. Like the average person that watches YouTube and stuff like that, they're like people trying to live their life that should just try to be as healthy as possible. And like in the terms of, is a lineman healthy? They're great athletes, but a lot of times true athleticism comes with its own mark on health. Like a lot of NBA players don't live very long. Like you don't see too many 80-year-old NBA players just because the constant running, pounding on their joints, the running on their joints, and most NBA players being pretty immobile. Like by the time they're in their like mid 60s and shit like that.
Well, smaller people tend to live longer anyway.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think some of the people that live the longest in the world are tiny.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about it in a video yesterday. Like, even if a 300-pound person, if you're very tall and you're 300 pounds, you're still just not going to live as long as other people. Like, it's just our bodies aren't necessarily made to be that large, for that extended period of time. They're especially like, you look like you have a very thick frame, so you probably the BMI chart is not necessarily for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's but I will say this: once people get over like a 40 BMI. It's not like there's no athleticism around that. Like even 35, that's like 5'10", 280 pounds or something like that. That's not really, you're not carrying that weight healthily. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's a trade-off for a lot of athletes and stuff like that too. Like, I mean, shit. People need to look at it this way. Like, that's why I don't necessarily have a problem with like people like Tess Holiday and them. Like, they're making money off their obesity. I'm not going to shame their game. That's their shit. When they try to convince other people that there's nothing wrong with it, that's pretty fucked up because those other people can't live the life that they can live. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you're rich and obese or rich and like beat up a little bit or like that, your life is very different compared to somebody else,
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's like that and the NFL stuff. Like, not most dudes aren't even built to be over 200 pounds. Like, they don't have the frame structure to be over 200 pounds healthily,
Yeah.
Like the average guy. Like, when you get into like the 10% of genetics, like you, me, stuff like that, we can possibly hold it and be healthier. And then when you get to like 300 pounds, like, who's fucking healthy at 300 pounds? Like nobody's trying to convince that, like, I just think our society needs to like kind of rewrite. I think the like 600-pound life shows I think that's like skewed people's idea of big people too.
Yeah,
You know?
no, it has.
Yeah.
Because that's the 1% of the 1% extreme.
Yeah. That's like you're in very serious need of like intervention type stuff. But hey man, I have some clients I got to do, and then I'll have a weekend. It's great having you on. You got to Mark.
Absolutely.
Mark said we could have you. I actually asked if we could have you on a lot too. So Mark said yeah, and we'll get a hold of you about coming on with more guests and shit like that. It's a fun time, man. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to meeting you next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet you too, Alan. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Where can everybody find you?
So on Twitter, my username is @Matt_S_Stevens. Stevens is with a PH. My website is realmattstevens.com. Instagram is the same username. And join my newsletter. That's the best way to keep up with me and get all the best content that I put out.
And what services do you provide? Do you provide any
What's that?
services? Do you provide any coaches, services, training?
Oh yeah. So I've got a 60-day challenge coming up here in the next week and a half. It's just you get to sample my program, and we make as big of a change as we can within the first 60 days, but I also do one-on-one coaching, and I've got programs available as well. You can find all of that on the link on my Twitter.
All right, man. That's awesome. Thank you. And thank you for joining me. You guys should check his stuff out. Very, very knowledgeable. Awesome dude. Pleasure meeting you, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, you too, Alan. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.